What is going on, everyone? How you guys doing today? We are watching right now as small businesses around the country continue to suffer. Small businesses continue to suffer, and a lot of these businesses are no longer going to take it. They're actually saying that they're going to reopen despite the coronavirus lockdowns, the mandates from governors, from local elected officials. And while they are opening, while they're defying these executive orders and these government mandates, they are receiving fine after fine after fine. And most of them are simply saying, look, we're going to reopen because we either face the fact that we might lose our business, or we are simply going to reopen and continue on with our business. And some of the biggest issues that come to the forefront when it comes to reopening their businesses is the fact that the arbitrary manner in which elected officials are reopening different aspects of our economy. And you have here Murphy hitting pause on reopening New Jersey as coronavirus rate of transmission rises. And our governor in New Jersey literally said a few days before the planned reopen for indoor dining in New Jersey that suddenly we were no longer going to allow indoor dining. And you had restaurant after restaurant that prepared for the date that he set for which indoor dining would open. They ordered food, they prepped things, they brought employees back, and they took all these different measures to reopen their restaurants for indoor dining. And a couple days before that date was set to come, he simply said, guess what? We're going to stop and we're going to pause because the rate of transmission around the country is on the rise, which is a whole nother discussion because there's a lot of speculation that the numbers we're being fed from a lot of these states around the country aren't really all that accurate. And there's even been talk about probable cases being counted into the coronavirus cases. So there's a lot of questioning there's a lot to question as to what is going on with the rising cases, compounded by the fact that we are seeing local elected officials clamp down on the reopening. So you have Phil Murphy on Monday said that he's pumping the brakes on taking more steps to gradually New Jersey from New Jersey from months of coronavirus lockdown orders after the state's rate of transmission rose above the key 1 for the first time in 10 weeks. So he's stopping the reopening because he's saying that New Jersey is starting to see an uptick in cases just like the rest of the country, which leaves a lot of questioning. It says Murphy did not say he's rolling back any reopenings, but the Garden State has already allowed. But he said we're not going to be jumping the gun on a whole lot more opening up steps right now. And he said, quote, we're here right now. The governor said during his latest coronavirus briefing in Trenton, my guess is we're going to be here for a bit. And this is having a drastic effect not only on small businesses, but it's having a drastic effect on people trying to get back into the workforce who may have been laid off as a result of COVID. You have a unemployment rate that is still above 10% in this country. Albeit it's come down and there have been a lot of jobs that have come back, it'd still be extremely difficult unless we can actually get the economy fully open again. So it says that means businesses and services that have not yet reopened, including gyms, indoor dining sections of bars and restaurants, movie theaters, performing arts centers, and more, will likely have to keep waiting. So while these businesses are kept waiting, people continue to be out of work, and a lot of the small businesses are on the cusp of going under. And then you have different businesses who are taking things into their own hands. And like you see here, more than 100,000 small businesses have permanently closed due to the coronavirus, a study estimates. A new study estimates about 2% of small American businesses have closed for good. So the small businesses are the backbone of the American economy, and now we're starting to see them go under. And you see 34% of small business owners said they are either paying reduced rent or delaying payment. So they're not getting any income, so they're not able to pay the rent. And as a result, they're on the cusp of losing their business. It says 3% of restaurant operators have gone out of business, and Congress late last month approved more than $700 billion in relief funds to try to help prop up small businesses. And this article was dated on, where's the date here? Oh, they don't have the date on here. But this was from I think this was from a few weeks ago. It says a study projects more than 100,000 small businesses in the United States have permanently shut their doors since the coronavirus outbreak was declared a pandemic in March, according to the Washington Post. So you have 100,000 small businesses that have gone under since March. And we're watching now as a lot of small businesses that are still managing to hold it together are saying to themselves, look, we can't continue to be shut down. There's no reason that casinos and I'm trying to think of some of the other things that they've opened different indoor settings. They've done outside dining. So there's no reason they really can't bring that inside. I've been down to Delaware recently and they have inside dining down there. You know, you walk in with a mask, you are escorted to your table, you take the mask off, and they have every other table where they seat people, and it worked out perfectly fine. So it's a lot in question right now as to what is really going on here. And then you have this business here, this dated July 7th, it says, we ain't paying crap, quote unquote. Italian restaurant racks up $10,000 in fines for opening before governor allows, but owners are defiant. And the question too is, if enough businesses reopen and say, look, we're not going to take it from the government anymore, we're not going to take it from our local elected officials, and we're going to reopen. If enough people do that, it's going to take an awful long time for them to sift through all of the fines and all of the court proceedings that are going to end up going forward because of all the fines that they decided to levy against these small businesses. And then these small businesses are taking the necessary precautions to make sure that people are able to come back and sit in their restaurants safely. It's not like they're being defiant and saying we're just not going to do anything and we're just not going to care, and if people get sick, so be it. They're going out of their way. And this is what took place in New Jersey before Governor Murphy decided to shut down his reopening date for indoor dining. They set they reached all the expectations the small businesses did, the restaurants, and went out of their way to make sure that the customers were safe. So it says here that there's absolutely no fear here. We're going to continue to come to work, and the governor ain't going to do anything about it. Despite racking up $10,000 in fines for opening up early in violation of Pennsylvania Democratic Governor Tom Wolf's coronavirus lockdown, Palmyra restaurant Taste of Sicily remains defiant, Penn Live reported. Quote, some rob you with a gun while others rob you with a pen. Co-owner Mike Mangiano noted to the outlet, referring to Wolf, we ain't paying crap. So you have these, and this is something, personally, I feel like a lot of small restaurant owners should take heed to these actions and follow in these footsteps, because again, if enough of you guys get out there and say, look, this is what we're going to do, there's not a whole lot that government's really going to be able to do about it. And then you couple this with the fact that there's people out there protesting, gathering in large groups, and that's perfectly fine, but we can't go into a Italian restaurant and grab a slice of pizza. So it says, what are the details? Taste of Sicily has gained regional notoriety for reopening its dining room in mid-May, earlier than it was allowed, Penn Live said. Co-owner Christine Wartloft, Mangiano's sister, told the outlet Tuesdays have been difficult as they wait for fines to arrive, but added that they'll challenge them in court. So they're going to challenge the fines, and they're going to take this to court. And that's what this is what every small business should be doing at this point. If you're faced with the possibility of getting a government fine or going out of business, I mean, take your pick. So you have a video here from the restaurant.
Everybody, the Department of Agriculture is here. I'm going to record them today. This is going to be interesting. Here comes the Department of Agriculture, ready to slap me with another fine. And here they come.
What's up, guys? How much is the fine for today?
Would you guys care to do an interview?
$4,000.
No interview today, huh? No work. No interview, huh, guys? You ought to be ashamed to get. And you call yourself an American? Giving hardworking people a fine? It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. And there you go.
So there you have it, $4,000 fine for people simply reopening their restaurant in defiance of the dictatorial mandates being put down, the arbitrary mandates being put down by many of our elected officials. They're picking and choosing which businesses are allowed to reopen, which industries, and a lot of it makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. So, this is something we all have to keep in mind as we try to fight back from the coronavirus lockdown and try to avoid being forced into yet another lockdown. So keep that all in mind, guys, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching.